Hey everybody, welcome back. It's me, Kyle G, and here we go. It's Raging Loop, episode 3. Alright, so, let's see what happens when we don't kill ourselves like a fucking idiot. What was that? It sounded like someone's life was in danger. It meant something dangerous was nearby. Wait, I couldn't be rash. The world didn't have many things that logic couldn't explain. Like the existence of murderers. But until I saw the source of the scream myself, it was nothing but a source of fear. Get in there, lock yourself in, stay inside the whole night, and don't make a sound. I reached to open the door, but something stayed my hand. It was my promise to Chiemi. But that scream just now was very real. It wasn't normal. I had to assume the situation was dangerous, and maybe I could help if I went out, but that meant endangering myself. I was no saint, and I had no plans to rectify that. If there was something that could get me to walk out, it would be curiosity. My curiosity had won over many dangers thus far, but right now it was weaker than my fear and risk of death. Why? Because I already knew. Shit, what the hell were these memories? It wasn't a premonition, a dream, or anything else that vague. My brain recognized it as something I'd experienced. But how? After all, I was still alive, and the time for those memories had yet to come. Was I a precog or something? By God, I swore I'd never experienced anything like this before coming here. And why did the memory come back to me at this particular moment? Regardless, that overwhelming fear and the pain and death that followed were exactly what waited for me if I opened the door. I couldn't feel more certain of that. The thoughts were under me, unable to move. Immobile. I stood still, completely certain that I'd lost my chance to leave. I wasn't child enough to sneer at selfish decisions, but this still didn't feel good. Not to mention I was upset at myself for not being able to act like me and just run out simply because I was curious. I didn't even feel saved until that moment. Suddenly the door began to shake. This place had a handle on the outside and someone was pulling on it hard. There was a lock, sure, but there was only so much it could take before it broke. I prepared to pull on it from the inside, but get in there. Lock yourself in, stay inside the whole night, and don't make a sound. What would happen if I did? Whatever was outside would instantly know I was here. Even if I protected the door, the thing had lots of ways of hurting me. But what if it didn't know about me and was just weirded out by this randomly locked toilet? What if I didn't show a hint of fear to what it was doing? Would it just leave? I chose to just wait and see. Once again, someone pulled the door, shaking the structure as a whole. I gulped down a scream and focused on the lock. If it broke, it'd be over for me. Over, as in I'd be dead. That was what that memory told me. I was powerless back then, and even more so now. Assuming I tried to fight back, what would work? I'd heard that teeth were the hardest part of the human body, so maybe I could bite. Yeah, I'd tear whatever it was apart with my teeth. I'd bite it to death. I gathered my wits in killing intent, grinding my teeth. I glared at the door. How long had it been? The sound suddenly stopped. For all I knew, it might have been a ploy to make me drop my guard. I'd slowly count to 500. Ooh, that's a lot of patience. If nothing happened in that time, I'd assume it went away. There were no screams or attacks after that. But the silence around me improved my perception, and I heard strange noises every now and then. Breathing. Growling. Claws on the ground. Basically, I felt a beastly presence. So that thing actually existed here? Was it what the mists brought here from Saranaga? The wolf is coming. Do they all know about this? Shit, I couldn't learn anything in a place like this, and not knowing things scared me. Trusting my prescience, trusting my prescience or deja vu or whatever it was, I chose to just stay quiet and wait. I found out everything tomorrow. I just had to make it through the night and then talk to Chiemi. And if it was something I couldn't solve, I'd just run away. Thankfully, my bike repairs were going well, but I'd be leaving even if it didn't work. I'd walk to Kamafujiyoshi if I had to. Unlike Yasumizu, they might have had reliable means of transport. For now, I just had to stay awake and make it through the night. Dawn. 5:13. Tuesday. I never liked seeing night gradually turn brighter as the morning arrives. It always made me feel like shit. Like I'd just done something harmful, both for my body and as a human being in general. I found it natural to spend the night asleep and woke in the morning well rested and with a smile. I'd never expected to feel so much gratitude for the morning light leaking through the door of an outhouse. It felt like the beasts had been out and about the whole night. Naturally, the high humidity here had made my clothes all wet and sticky. It was unpleasant, but even trying to move them and make it more comfortable for myself felt like a matter of life and death. Maybe it was a good thing I couldn't relax, but hell, it was exhausting in more ways than one. When I heard Chiemi shout, "Haruaki-san!" in the distance, I was so overcome with relief I almost fell to my knees. Honestly, I was certain she was dead. If this turned out to be a trick, and I opened the door to see some wolf with a chewed collar in its mouth, lunging for my throat, I'd just give up and let it have me at this point. With that in mind, I opened the door. I expected to see the same picturesque village I'd seen yesterday, so what I actually saw shocked me pretty hard. What the hell was up with this thick mist? I couldn't see shit. It was like the entire area was consumed by it. Did someone line every inch of this place with dry ice or something? Haruaki-san! I could hear Chiemi, but not see her. Chiemi-chan, I'm right here. Haruaki-san, what a relief. Ah! I heard a wet sound, and finally saw a silhouette within the mist. Are you okay? I'm stuck in the field. I walked up and saw exactly what I expected. A girl struggling to free one of her legs stuck deep in the paddy field. I see. Well, good luck. Hey, help me out! Oh, you can't do it yourself? Take my hand then, and out you go. I tugged her hand and braced my legs. That was enough to help her, but she lost her balance and... Whoa! Safe. Headlock. This is a wrestling move. You're actually pulling it off! Despite how close we were now, this wasn't the least bit romantic. Anyway, I'm glad you're okay. I definitely remembered a time when I was far from alright, though. Yeah, I guess I am. I had no idea what that was about, so I didn't see any reason to mention it. I did feel like there was some beast outside. Chiemi's expression immediately darkened. She clearly knew what I was referring to. I have lots of questions, but right now, I'm more interested in the scream I heard than anything else. That was... Huh? You know what I mean? She fell silent, clearly uncomfortable. It was pretty ominous. This way. No point delaying the inevitable. Chiemi gave me her hand. I took it, but I didn't feel the least bit excited about this. She led me down the path to the school dorm. Oh, Fusaishi-san, you're okay. Congrats on surviving, Toilet Man! Thanks, Warm Futon Man. You're okay too. Wait. Where's Haru-chan? Did she... Oh, she's fine. She suffered quite a shock, so she's taking a while to get dressed. I see. So the rest of you have already gotten to move on? How did you even handle being in there anyway? Were you asleep? As if I could. I had no idea when I could get out, so I just waited until I heard Chiemi-chan's voice. Huh? So you were awake? Yasunaga-san made it sound like that was weird. You try sleeping in there, guy. You can't even sit, much less lie down. No, that's not what I see. I really hate it when people just trail off like that. It makes me way too curious. Why are you here anyway? Waiting for Haru-chan and keeping a lookout. A lookout? We're not letting anyone near the scene until the situation is clear. Scene? So someone actually... Want to see? It's a good way to test your stomach. Mochi, don't mess around like that. Yeah, I do. The invisible and unknown were way scarier than anything else. Not to mention I could already smell something foul. I lightly moved them aside and walked up to the so-called scene. Jesus! There was a corpse. It was in such a horrible state it was hard to recognize it as human. I imagine this is what you would have gotten if you overturned a butcher's cart. That was how thoroughly the victim was disassembled. Yeah, it looks like it. Also, the butcher would have had to deal in entrails. Yeah, enough of that comparison. Whatever. Just training my eyes to look through the thick mist, I could actually make out some human parts within the vast sea of blood, or mountain of death. Hands, torn clothing, hair, and a shoulder bag. How professional. She kept hold of her interviewing tools even while running for her life. Didn't do her odds of survival any favors, though. Despite the body's state, it wasn't hard to tell that the victim was Hisako Mamiya, the small-time food journalist. That thing... Did it come to me once it was done murdering her? This is awful. Are you alright? Feel nauseous or anything? Jimmy was standing a short distance away, looking at nothing in particular. I got nothing to puke, and, well, I'm used to this. Is that what you were studying in college? Well, I guess you can say that. Huh? Seriously? So you can do autopsies and stuff? When asked if they study medicine, I guess you can say that is what students from similar departments say to make themselves look good, but I did see a few pathology analyses. I crouched down and put my hands together. Then, grimacing at the harrowing reek of blood, innards, and especially digested food, I brought my face closer. Perhaps I could learn something from this? I could, even if it wasn't much. This corpse wasn't split into pieces. The limbs were still connected, but they were folded in an unnatural way, and looked really flattened. They were either crushed or bent with no regard to bones or muscle position. Then, her whole body had been torn apart. The innards were particularly badly damaged. The words wolfed down felt like the best way to put it. I found it hard to describe. This wasn't my job, so there wasn't much I could tell about it without touching it. This is way beyond anything I've ever seen before. I can barely tell what happened here. I had an urge to add that this seemed inhuman, but I kept myself from saying that. Anyway, we should call the police. Leave it to the pros. Nope. I said something any good citizen would, but for some reason, they didn't seem to agree. Haruaki-san, the police won't come. Why wouldn't they? I mean, someone died. They won't. Then let's evacuate. That's not happening either. Why? We have my bike and their van. Anyway, with Fusaishi-san, we now have all the survivors, so let's go to the dining hall. We'll wait for Haru-chan. Yeah, you do that. Let's go, Haruaki-san. Can I get an explanation? Sorry, but I'm not in the mood for explanations. Figure it out for yourself. It was the first time Shammy had acted so harsh with me. I was pretty irritated myself, but it must have been worse for them. They actually had info on what was happening here. Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Shammy said nothing more and just silently walked off. I followed after her. When we reached the plaza, I instantly understood what she said about evacuating. The bike and the van were both completely destroyed. The latter was in a particularly bad state. The front window was broken, all 4 tires were flat, etc. My bike was on its side, its front fork was broken. Well, it was basically scrap metal now. Fuck. There was a rock right next to it. Guess we had our weapon. And there were more remains inside the van. It looked like an enormous mountain of flesh and bone. If I didn't know about Yudai Hashimoto-shi, I'd have assumed that there were 2 or 3 corpses in here. Hashimoto-san? Shammy slowly nodded. I now knew we'd lost not only 2 lives, but any means of transportation as well. Look there. She pointed at a wooden electrical pole. The line was dangling, torn apart with no hope of repair. Yeah, the power lines are fine, but the dining halls was destroyed, along with the telephone line. We can't contact the outside. I checked out my own phone. It worked, but the battery was almost dead, and like before, it was out of range. The situation had become even harsher than before. Look here, too. Chemi walked a few steps away. I followed after her. There was a large boulder. It was tall enough to reach an average roof, and there were drawings on it. A crimson symbol of some sort. What did it represent? At first, it looked like an incoherent mess of lines. However, I soon realized there was a pattern. It felt like the calling card of some street gang. From what I could tell, the basis was a warped diamond shape with a spiral inside. There were 2 of them. They seemed to be drawn in blood, but that wasn't nearly as disturbing as the bizarre shape. 2 wolves have snuck into the village. We have to fight. Chami made a quiet declaration. Apparently, this settlement had been invaded by something malicious, and it was intelligent enough to get rid of all means of escape or contacting help. I can understand that much. But it didn't make sense to me. This wasn't some isolated island. This was... there was the cliff, sure, but you could still go down to Sarunaga or go to Kamo Fujiyoshi. I'd ask about that the next time I had the chance. Sorry. Sorry I got mad. It must be hard for you too. Don't worry about it. I'm just an outsider. Don't say that. Huh? Oh, poor choice of words on my part? I mean, I'm an outsider who doesn't know the rules, so I'll just silently watch for the time being. I'm tired, but I think I'm less shaken by this than most people, so I figured it's best for me to stay cool. I imagine even the elders here are more bothered by this. Haruaki-san, are you really just some university graduate? What else could I be? I don't know. You seem way too calm about this. Like you're used to situations like this. My nerves are pretty messed up, I guess. People are going to think I'm one of the wolves. Okay. This'll be fun. But yeah, so it seems like this whole game is going to be us trying to, like, figure out who the wolves are. Playing, essentially, a giant game of Mafia. Or Werewolf, more apt. Also, yeah, I meant to comment on this last video, but I just kind of wanted to wrap things up. I mean, not tone-wise necessarily, but this game is giving me some serious, like, Zero Escape vibes. Like, Virtue's Last Reward in particular. So if anybody hasn't played those games, those are visual novels combined with, like, escape the room puzzle segments that also have a giant chart. And you can also bounce between different timelines. You die a lot, you fail a lot. But your main character can kind of retain some memories from each time they jump. So, definitely giving me that vibe. And I love those games, so that's a good sign. The small dining hall was jam-packed with people. You survived. Good morning. Though I guess it's not very good considering what's going on. I'm sorry, I didn't prepare enough tea. Good. I'm not eating or drinking anything here. Oh, it's okay. You did it, didn't you? The younger Oribe boy menaced me. No, I didn't. Why would you think that? Shut it! Where the hell did you get off strutting in like that? Stop it, Yoshibo. You're the one who needs to shut it. The hell? You're the one who said this bastard's shady! Man, I hadn't expected to be treated this badly. I'm saying this ain't a matter for a brat like you. And you're bothering Kaori-san, right? Takumi-san, please calm down. Let's keep it peaceful. It's fine. We'll talk it out. Thus I offer homage to Shinai the Almighty, so peace may come to pass. Thus I offer homage to Shinai the Almighty, so peace may come to pass. Stop, Taiba. That's a bad omen. Where's the key to the meeting hall? I gave it to Uematsu-sama, too. Maybe 3 days ago. Said she'd fix the podium. Well, Missy? I'll go and get it. That was the woman. So she wasn't just an illusion. Uematsu-sama was her name, huh? I thought our eyes met for a second, but she just walked by me. Wait! Meiko-chan, wait here for a moment. That girl was here too. Deeper in, there was Kiyonosuke no Satoshi, clearly irritated by something. Yeah. And not too far away, there was the old man who cried wolf. Just like yesterday, it was hard to tell what he was looking at, let alone thinking. They were the only ones sitting, by the way. The others were all just idly standing around. Mom, everyone, we're back. Come in, Haru-chan. Okay. The 3 students were here. God, I'm just trying to keep everybody's names straight, let alone the voices I've kind of given them. With them, the settlement's entire population had gathered. As for the outsiders, the journalists were dead, while I and the mysterious girl had survived. I didn't know the circumstances, but they probably had their reasons to be suspicious of me. Suddenly, Chiemi did something unexpected. Rikako-san, can you wait a moment? She stopped the girl who was about to go out to get some key. Each village seemed to call her differently, so I didn't know what to call her myself. This is Haruaki Fusaishi-san. He crashed his bike and I met him at Saranaga. Oh, hello. An introduction? Now? Why? This is Rikaku Uematsu-san. Uematsu is made of the kanji for spin and end. Pretty rare, right? Well, she's the current head of the Uematsu household, one of the chief families from Kamo Fujiyoshi. I'm Rikaku Uematsu. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Oh. So she was like a local celebrity, huh? Like Kiyonosuke, she's Nosato family? And that's Meiko-chan. We only call her that because we don't know her real name. Uh-huh. Hello there. Nice to meet you. The girl they called Meiko trembled a bit and... Oh my. Whoa. Sprinted through the crowd to hide behind Rikaku Uematsu. So, what do you say, Chiemi? I suggest not inviting Haruaki Fusaishi-san to the feast. I felt a wave of perplexity go through the room. Gee, that ain't how it works. The feast is there to help us decide if he's shady or not, right? The expressions were stern, and their words harsh. No, I'm saying he doesn't even have the right to participate in the feast. What are you talking about? He's the shadiest of all of us. Of us all. Yoshi-kun, did you prepare for the feast? Huh? Yeah, I did. Who didn't? How was I supposed to react? No one else was raising their hands, but I had no idea what they were talking about. Me? Probably? I don't even know what that entails. The other 2 who didn't prepare for the feast were taken by the corruption. However, Haruaki-san wasn't. I think the Okami-sama ignored him. Okami-sama? As in Wolf-sama? Why the reverence? And what was she even talking about? He's from Saranaga, sure, but he clearly just passed by. In fact, he'd gotten in the way of the feast. I think he'd gotten in the way of the feast. No, for all we know, forcing him into the feast would just make the Okami-sama mad. What do you think, Bachan? Did you really survive without preparation? What was I supposed to do? Purify, shelter, dream. Basically, cleanse your body, lock up in a single building all by yourself, wait for dawn while asleep. I didn't then. I was in the outhouse by myself, but that's it. I didn't bathe, and I spent the night awake. The place got all noisy. They probably didn't expect that answer. I don't know. This never happened before. Tai-san sounded genuinely puzzled. What do you think, Rikako-san? I had no idea what kind of dynamics were at work here, but Chiemi asked for Rikaku Uematsu's opinion. I consent to the idea. If our great lord Shinai chose to spare him, he must be exempt from the rules of the mountain. Her words created even more commotion. So there. Chiemi, you know what you're doing, right? If we remove him... Yeah, we won't have to waste our hanging for the day. Old man, what do you think? It was roundabout, but in the end, once again, the ones to make the final call were Kanzo Makishimishi. He won't be in the feast. Old man, But... Glaring directly at me, the old man walked through the gathering and approached me. Seeing him from up close, I realized just how big and burly he was. It was pretty typical of someone living in a place like this, but it felt out of place on someone his age. His expression displayed both an inner strength to match his physique and a profound rage. If the laws of the mountain don't work on you, it'll be our rules you follow. If you don't, I'll shoot you dead. He spoke slowly, yet decisively. Man, this was uncomfortable. Hold on, if he can be excluded, I would like the same to happen to Rikako-san and I. What? Why? We're from Kamo Fujiyoshi. We have no reason to play along with Saranaga's business. No, Sato-sama, that won't do. If you're here on the day of the feast, it doesn't matter if you're Nosato, Uematsu, Migurama, or Higuchi. Uncle, that'd mean Yasun and I could leave too. You were both disinherited. That's different. Why must people that are still part of our four families take part in this idiocy? Listen here, Kyo. Don't call me that, Moro. Let's go, Rikako-san. We have no reason to play with these peasants. No, Nosato-sama. Those in Fujiyoshi have a duty to remain present. All remains in the hands of Shinai-sama, and we now gather upon the platter named Yasumizu. But... If you got a problem, then get out. Let the corruption take you. Kiyonosuke-shi eventually fell silent, and Rikaku left. To get the key, probably. She returned in no time, and everyone began leaving. You're not coming with us. Alright, where to then? Takumi, is the cage open? Well, yeah. Alright, I'll take him. I'm going into a cage? Come with me. Everyone went to some hall near the village plaza, while Takumi led me elsewhere. We made our way to the tall grass between the buildings. At a dead end next to wild trees and a rocky cliff, there was a large cage. It even had a roof. It would have passed for a hut with a bit of work. This is where we keep the live game we capture. Sorry, but you'll have to wait here. I can't say no, can I? Don't take it the wrong way, okay? You'll be out once we're done with the feast. It won't take long. And I can't get any details, huh? Yeah, I do feel bad about this, but you should be thankful you don't need to take part in the feast. How was I supposed to feel that way if I didn't even know what the feast was? I'd have asked, but he looked pretty irritated, probably because he wanted to get it over with, so I kept my mouth shut. The floor of the cage was mostly gravel, with spaces of wheat and other things littered about. There was a vague but very clear scent of beasts. Can I lie down here? I figure I could sleep wherever I can. Man, you're brash. No, just a coward. I don't want to die is all. That was why I abandoned those people. After Takumi-san locked me in and left, I laid down and closed my eyes. The ground was hard, and it reeked pretty bad, but it was still an improvement over the outhouse. I should have taken the time to think about what the villagers had said, about my strange memories, and about how I could get the hell out of here. That was what I wanted to do, but I knew that I'd just be swept away by an unproductive spiral of regret if I went down that rabbit hole. Had I always been this admirable of a person? Ow. Another thing. For some reason, I felt like I'd spent the entirety of this time just watching the battle. So I decided that I'd focus on resting, in preparation for what was to come. Everyone sitting, then? Let's begin the feast of the Yomi Purge. Uematsu-sama, if you may. This is sacred sake presented to us by Shinai-sama. Please drink it, starting from the youngest. Sake? You just put your mouth to it. No drinking for you, kids. Not like it'd kill me. Stop it, Yoshitsugu. You say something too, Yasunaga? Yoshitsugu, this is just for tradition's sake. Tradition sake. Yeah, shut it. I know how it is, Aniki. I don't want to drink this. Oh. Okay. Archan, just kiss it. They're done, and I'm done too. Same here, Chiene. Alright, adult time. Here I go. This is enough for me. It's better than I expected, Moro. We're drinking sake during the day. This feast is something. Here, old man. Ugh, don't spill it, Taiba. I'll have it. Can you hold it, mister? Sake! Sake! That's done, Taiba. Explain. You all know the tales, don't you? When the evening mists come, the Okami-sama, the wolves, come back to life and try to slay the humans. There were 2 symbols of the Omatsu Okami. That means that 2 wolves have risen. That's why we must do as Shinai-sama says, and throw feasts so we can find and hang them using the powers of the guardians some of us were given. If we don't, we will be taken by the corruption. That means dying a horrible death. To avoid the corruption, we must have feasts to slay the wolves. That is our role as inhabitants of Yasumizu. One-chan, what does slay mean? It means kill. Scary. It's fine. I'll protect you. Sorry for the interruption, Yamawaki-san. It's okay. Children always do that. She's not the only one among us who could be a wolf. Good grief, what nonsense. If that's what you think, then just fuck off and let the corruption have you. Yoshitsugu. Oribe-san, I'm concerned about your son's upbringing. I'm like this because I want to be. Don't drag the hag into this. Shut up, Yoshitsugu. I'll punch you. Takamine, the hell are you acting tough for? If I say I'll punch you, I will. You too, Kyo. Just shut up and listen. Ugh, you don't have the guts. Hear that? Adults don't let stuff like that get to them. Anyway, Ba-chan, this doesn't seem right to me. I've been hearing about this ever since I was young, but it never made sense to me. We've been here for as long as we can remember. With the exception of Meiko, we all know each other. They've been replaced by wolves? Like hell, they're the same as always. Takumi, you're being naive. What? You're saying there's someone shady among us? Everyone's shady. Ochi-san? You be careful too, Haru. Even beasts can trick people. People trick better than any beast. There are things here acting like they're one of us. Why are you so confident? There's truth in what the ancestors said. Well, if you say so. That's just Yasumizu's numbskulls say, isn't it? Chikamochi. Again? You irreverent little... Mochi, stop that. I'm sorry. So what do we do now? What do you mean? We talk and decide, right? Will that be enough? I mean, we're deciding who to kill here, aren't we? Everyone will say that they think, then we'll narrow down to the most reasonable opinion. Chini, what do you think? I think it's a mess. We already have people who think no one's shady, and those who think everyone is. Yammering on and on about something that can't be reasonably decided is a waste of time. Besides, in the end, this is just going to be decided by whoever's most influential. What are you getting at? Don't worry too much, Chiemi. Most of us here are Yasumizu brothers and sisters. It'll work out in the end. I appreciate that you're being so considerate, but... we're talking about killing someone here. Ugh. Plus, it gets worse. If you don't want to pick someone close to you, you'll choose someone else. Someone you don't like. Or a stranger. Personally, I think you shouldn't let that kind of thing affect your decision. It'd be a grave mistake. Hey, I'm trying to say that killing and all that shit is insane, and we should stop it. That won't do, Takumi. Ba-chan's saying the same thing. That's why we gotta talk it out, you know? I know. I know what you're trying to say, but... can I? Haru-chan speaking. What's the likelihood of the guy Chiene brought being the one who killed the journalists? See? What did I just say? I don't think he did. It's just my gut, though. What about you guys? Takumi, you said he's shady. Yeah, I did. But like Shimi said, we shouldn't make decisions based on that. Also, the guy's weird, but I don't think he'd do something like that. I'm with you on that. This is our problem, so we should solve it by ourselves. This is basically choosing someone based on who you like. So how do you think we should choose, Kyonosuke-san? I believe the majority rule is the most reliable method. I really can't decide on a voice for this guy. I believe the majority rule is the most reliable method here. Yasunaga Oribe-kun. Hail democracy and all that. That's not very like you. I'm merely saying that there's no better way to get the common opinion of this many people. Also, talking it out and making the decision then is basically taking the conclusion most people agree with, no? That's the same as majority rule. Otherwise, like you mentioned, everything would be decided by whoever had the most influence. Who would that be here in Yasumizu? Kanzo Makishimishi? Tai Yawawaki-san? And who would be killed? Me, of course, the non-local. Isn't that foolish, considering the people deciding that might be themselves be wolves? That was bad. Nosato-san. Just so you are aware, I have no intention of dying. At the very least, I want a method where I have a say in what happens. I'm against that. Majority rule? Yeah, we'll get a conclusion, but there's no guarantee it'll be right. I still think talking it out and deciding then is the best. Speaking of which, what would happen? What would we even talk about? Taiba-chan, you said something about the Guardians of the Mountain lending us their aid, right? Yes, the snake, the monkeys, the crow, and the spider would lend us their aid. Those are the animals she mentioned that were, like, more dangerous. Okay. Interesting. Did you know the details? The snake. Ah, old fart, you know about it? The snake can ask the mountain who's a wolf. There are two monkeys. They both know who the other monkey is. The crow can ask the mountain if the hanged one was a wolf. The spider can ask the mountain to protect someone from the wolves, but only for one night. That's what I've been told too. A wolf has come. I wasn't aware you knew this. I thought you were just senile, but it looks like you're pious too. Anyway, that means some of us here should have those powers. What do you mean? Wait, do God and the Guardians even exist? Isn't it just some serial killer using old folktales as a cover? Haru-chan, God really does exist. You just believe he does. No, all of us must have seen Shinai-sama at least once in our lives. But that's... Calm down, Haru-chan. Are you alright? Yeah, sorry. Whether it's true or not, we should start by putting together what we know. It's too early to decide anything. Let's make the Guardian thing a bit easier to understand. Can't you youngins remember the old tales better? The snake sees, the monkeys hold hands, the crow tastes, the spider protects. The snake can discover the wolves among the people. It's also the guardian beast of the Migurama family. The monkeys know for certain that the other monkeys aren't wolves. It's the guardian beast of the Higuchi family. The crow can tell if the one who died was a wolf or not. It's my family's, Nosato's guardian beast. That's pretty sad. Silence. And the spider can keep the wolves from entering someone's home. It's the Uematsu's guardian. Indeed. Each family's crest represent their guardians too. But how do those chosen by the guardians use their powers? The snake writes the name of one still living person on something, and it puts it under their pillow before bed. The next morning, Shinai-sama tells them whether it's a human or a wolf. There are two monkeys, and Shinai-sama tells them who the other monkey is the moment they're granted protection. The crow is told whether the person who was hanged the day before is a human or not. The spider writes the name of one still living person and places it on their pillow. That person will be protected from the wolves, but only for one night. With these methods, we must use the power of the guardians to pick someone to hang each day. If we get all of the wolves, we win. If the wolves get everyone else, we lose. Do you understand now? Yes, but where did you even learn this? I heard about it from my Oba-chan. Wait, that means that those who have village head family blood have their guardians, right? I'm not so sure about that. I mean, we don't have anyone with Migurama blood, disowned or not. I heard that the guardians are very fickle about who they lend their aid to. And who are they? If they reveal it, they might make themselves targets for the wolves. We won't get anything done if we can't talk about it, though. You think so? What if... screw this, we're wasting time here. Listen up. My guardian's the snake. Huh? What? Takamine, is that true? How do you even know that? I forgot to explain that. The guardians come when we're dreaming and leave a mark for their chosen ones. If you wish to borrow their power, write it up and put it on your pillow. The mark will give you their answer. Yeah, I had a mark on me. I don't remember the dream, though. The snake sees. Does that mean Takamine-chan already knows who are the wolves here? No, as I said, he has to write it up, and he can only choose one person per night. Huh? So we won't know anything until tomorrow morning? Yes. Can I ask something, Muro? What is it? Why did you reveal such important information for no reason? What do you mean? Why, we have no other information to go on. Based on what's been said, the snake's power is very important. It makes you a very powerful asset in the fight against the wolves. So, revealing it like you did puts you in grave danger. I ain't scared at all. How can you say that? Did you see those monsters did to those people? Oh, so you believe in monsters? It was a figure of speech. Anyway, this turn of events has cost us a valuable weapon. Don't just decide that. You don't know shit. Yes, I do. Listen to me, everyone. Anything you say here is free information for the wolves. We should talk things out without overplaying our hands, yeah? That's true, and it gave me an idea. I'm the one speaking now. Quiet, fool. Yasu, speak. Huh? To make the best use of Takamini's reveal, the spider should protect him. The spider among us, without revealing his or her identity, should write his name down, I suppose, and protect him. That would keep him safe. What do you think? Sounds good to me. Yasu, old man, you'll be safe today. Ask the snake to tell you about someone. Whatever he finds out will definitely be correct, right? Right. Takamine-chan, can you promise you won't lie no matter who you investigate and what result you get? Of course I won't. Isn't that good enough for today? I don't think we can hang anyone without any kind of proof. You sure that's okay? Why wouldn't it be? Just sitting around and waiting doesn't suit me, okay? I know that. Oh, by the way, I think Takamine should tell us who he'll investigate. Why? So if you investigate someone and don't like the results, you can't lie that you actually investigated someone else. What the? I wouldn't lie. That's reasonable. I'd say it's necessary for Muro, considering how sympathetic he is to Yasumizu's inhabitants. He's not that special in that regard. Everyone wants to protect their own, but the situation doesn't allow that. There's another positive to that. We can all discuss and decide who we should investigate first, right? True. I'd like to talk about that too. Who do you think I should go for, Yasunaga? I'm not too sure, but I think we should start with one who's most likely to be unjustly chosen to be hanged. That would be me. Honestly, I feel as though I can't even speak if I'm not confirmed to be human. You're speaking quite a lot, if you ask me. Then I'll investigate Kyo. Is that okay? Fine by me. Then we're not hanging anyone today. Is that really fine? Yeah, it's gonna be fine. That's it for today. I was woken up by several voices. He's actually sleeping. Was anyway. We're done for today. Sorry for the wait. Good to hear. Oh, ow. Unfortunately, waking up proved that this whole mess wasn't just a nightmare. So, is the feast some sort of ritual? The kind you do to ward off evil or whatever? No, it's more of a gathering. I see. So you try to find the culprit. Haruaki-san, you don't beat around the bush, do you? Yeah. I realized I'm a real victim here, so I need information. It's a tall order to stay alive without any. Takamine-chan, can I tell him about this? Yeah, better you than me. I gotta go clean up and stuff. Takumi-san walked away. Clean up? The bodies, I assume? Yeah. Taiba-chan probably won't let us off until we've seen the Yomibito to Saranaga. You're supposed to preserve the scene of a crime, right? This is doing the exact opposite. Then again, it didn't seem like anyone expected the cops to show up in the first place. Okay. Here's my first question, then. Let's take this somewhere more private. Water. This is... Chairman took me to the place where I'd met Rikaku Uematsu and Meiko. There's a grass field with stones littered all over. It bordered Saranaga. You could say this is the heart of our religion, the graveyard or the hanging pine. Now that's a hell of a name. The place was filled with dense mist, but it was probably thinner than that in the rest of the settlement. The sunlight seemed brighter here. I could even see a bit farther. That hanging pine had to be the old-looking tree at the edge. Is this really a graveyard? Yes. I don't know about the ones in the actual settlement, but these stones here are all graves. Remember how you tripped on one of them? Pretty bad move, huh? Better apologize. Huh? Seriously? You should have told me sooner. Yasumizu's ancestors, I am so sorry. Sorry, I thought that would scare you. I know you didn't really have a choice, but I brought you to a half-ruined village with monsters in it. You believe in monsters? I asked, ignoring what I'd seen for myself. Yeah, I do. Jimmy's voice resounded through the impossibly thick, cloudy air. I didn't think you were the type. And you're the type who's weirded out by that. I wouldn't go that far. Bullshit, I can see it all over your face. Was it that obvious? It wasn't like I found it disgusting or anything. I just didn't think I could get along with these people who believe stuff like that despite a lack of actual proof. That was probably how it was. Can I have a reason? What? I don't have one. Not sure I believe that. Well, if I do, it's because I've seen God. That was, see? You worded it out. Tell me more. Wow, not bailing out after all. For now, let's just focus on the immediate issue. She was hiding something. It was either that hard to explain, or a lot more important than she was acting. About this feast thing. Huh, alright then. Jimmy's explanation. Yay, I've been waiting for this. The graveyard probably wasn't the place to joke around like this, but at least you could see past her nose, and it didn't seem like we had to worry about anyone eavesdropping. I tried putting together everything Chiemi had told me. First, Fujiyoshi Village had a unique legend. There might have been similar ones somewhere outside, but I just treated it as a Fujiyoshi exclusive for the time being. The people here worshipped a god called Great Lord Shinai, the avatar of Shinai, or just Shinai-san. Also, the mountain this village was on was called Mount Shinai, meaning this religion deified a mountain. Anyway, sometime in the past, not known when, Shinai-san had helped the people living here by sending 5 beasts called guardians. However, just like nature could be really harsh, he had a scary side too, and if you didn't follow his laws of the mountain, he'd curse you without mercy. The Okami-san was the ultimate form of his cruelty. Though the Okami-san watched over the hunt, the Okami-san also oppressed, tortured, and punished humans. The other guardians, though, were largely benevolent ones. The snake predicted the weather and harvest yields, bolstering the humans' prosperity. The monkeys defied the wolves, secretly teaching the people of fire. The people of fire? Okay, I see what they mean. Teaching the people of fire, along with other important bits of knowledge. The crow pecked at and ate up the flesh of the Yomibito, the enemies of Shinai-san. The spider warded off the Yomibito and ensured that the humans slept and dreamt soundly. The Yomibito did indeed mean people from Yomi, as in the land of the dead, but apparently it wasn't very clear what they actually were. But just as I'd suspected before, it was thought that they had something to do with the corruption and death in the land of Yomi. The most likely idea was that they were the dead that had returned from Yomi to bring harm to the people still alive. At the start of the legend, Shinai-san, the animals, and humans were facing the Yomibito. Apparently, that was still how it was in Kamafujiyoshi, the leading part of Fujiyoshi. It was the basis of the teachings of the Great Lord Shinai's religion. Thanks to that, the 5 beasts, including the Okami-sama, and Shinai-san were still worshipped there. In Yasumizu, however, things were a bit different. The legend here had a turning point when the humans, snake, monkeys, crow, and spider cooperated to kill the Okami-sama. With the destruction of their cruel rule, the human village experienced great growth. That had been when the 4 head families, who were said to have the blood of the 4 guardians in their veins, were formed. The snake was Migurama. The monkeys were Higuchi, the crow was Nosato, and the spider was Uematsu. However, it didn't end there. The Okami-sama joined the Yomibito's side and became a sinister creature that wanted to bring harm to humans. The Saranaga Rapids were Yomibito territory, and the Okami-sama appeared from there whenever the evening mists came. The Okami-sama would then kill an inhabitant, take on their form, and act like them. But at night, they would show their true self and brutalize the real inhabitants. That was why the people of Yasumizu, who lived next to the Saranaga Rapids, had to stop them. For that, Great Lord Shinai created an event called the Feast of the Yomi Purge. Despite the name, it was no banquet, but a ritual to kill the wolf. In the feast, the villagers were all allowed to kill 1 person a day. You had to basically kill your own people, something that was taboo for ages. But it was permitted here in order to rid the group of the wolf. Some humans were also given the powers of the guardians: snake, monkeys, crow, and spider. It was like a banquet of betrayal. They all drank some sake and chose someone to kill. That more or less explains everything. I see. It was a lot to unpack, but I got the gist of it. Basically, the humans betrayed the Okami-sama, one of their guardian divinities, and were still paying the price. But there were some points I didn't really get. Sorry about my jaw, if you can hear that. I won't tell this to anybody but you, but I'm pretty sure I saw the Okami-sama. No way. Where? I just took a peek through a space in the outhouse door, so I didn't get a good look. I couldn't tell her I had a realistic dream where I was killed. It had a human body and the head of a wolf, I think. No way. Can I take that as he seriously saw it? Yeah. A human body and a wolf head matches up with the description of the Okami-sama and Shinai's festivals and deified images of Kamafujiyoshi. Before I saw it, though, I heard a woman scream, so I figured that thing killed Mamiya-san. Was that the brutalization you told me about? I mean, if it killed and replaced her, you wouldn't have her body, right? Sorry, I forgot to tell you something. Shinai-san isn't very strict with his laws and gives various punishments to those who break them. You mentioned something like that. Basically, they broke the rule of preparing for the feast by bathing, locking up in a room all by yourself, and sleeping. That's why it's believed they died to the corruption. I couldn't see how you could get such mutilated corpses from something called the corruption, but there was something more important. Basically, you didn't tell me about the laws and turned me into Toilet Man so I could die, huh? No. Oh, listen, I honestly thought there was no way an outsider could survive. But I wanted to at least find a way that gave you a shot at making it through the night. Because I didn't want to let you die. And look at that, I actually survived. Yeah. Sorry, but I really didn't expect this. A shame I didn't get splashed, huh? Don't be like that. I'm actually really glad you didn't die. I wasn't sure how to feel about this. But hey, at least you tried, right? So that scream really was Mamiya-san's, huh? Or was it someone who got brutalized? No, I'm not really sure. From what you told me, it's possible that was your scream, and that the Okami-sama already replaced you. Well, it's possible. But I know full well I'm no wolf, and that's what I'm going to say. Just like everyone else, huh? Fair point. Now, this was a predicament. Question 1. Ask away. Are those marks the only proof that there are 2 wolves? I recalled the strange symbols on the large rock, the 2 warped diamonds with spirals inside. Yeah, that mark represents the Okami-sama returning from Yomi, so since there are 2 marks, it stands to reason there are 2 wolves. So it's speculation. Not much reason to question it, though. We have these annual mountain festivals, and there's always a guardian costume parade. The number of wolves in the parade is announced in a similar way. So it's normal for there to be multiple wolves, huh? Yeah, in Shinai-sama's shrine, for example, you have 3 wolf statues. For the festival, the Megurama divide the number of wolves or something, and then record that number overnight. By leaving those marks on the stones, huh? No, Kamafujiyoshi doesn't have Okiba. Those stones, I mean. So they apparently draw them on the shrine grounds. Apparently? The people of Yasumizu were taught to wait for the guardians in Yasumizu, so I never saw the marks myself. So one of those marks in Kamafujiyoshi means 1 wolf in the parade? Not exactly. The wolf's sign in Kamafujiyoshi isn't as warped, for one. The mark with the spiral and the diamond is only the sign of the wolves that come back from Yomi. It's a Yasumizu thing, so they don't have it in Kamafujiyoshi. I see. But still, the number of wolves and marks match up. Yep, a 3-wolf festival is considered good luck there. Chemi herself didn't look the least bit happy to talk about it. Anyway, all I had to take from this was that there were at most 3 Okami-sama, wolves. I had to fix my perception of the situation. The wolves were a group of 3 werewolves. I wasn't too well versed in myths and folklore, but I certainly hadn't heard any Japanese myth about werewolves or wolfmen. I did hear of Jinmenken and of possession by fox spirits, but werewolves did seem a very European thing. On the other hand, the fact that there were 3 of them seemed pretty standard. I guess it had something to do with the presentation, trinities and all that. Though the idea of 3 werewolves did seem a bit excessive in terms of content. Anyway, I now had a better grasp of the situation. That made it easier to understand what was going on here. What about the humans who got guardians? How many of them are there? There are 2 monkeys, but only one of the rest. I see, so there are 5 guardians and 2 wolves, and the rest are humans. It's pretty bad that there's 2 wolves, because that makes them strong. That's one reason, but you can only kill 1 person per day, right? If there's multiple, getting them all will take more time. Oh yeah, I just realized the crow would be kind of pointless if there was only 1 wolf. Why? The crow's ability lets him tell whether the corpse is a wolf or a human, right? That means that a wolf doesn't transform back into a wolf even when it dies. The corpse stays human. That means the crow's power. That makes the crow's power useful. You wouldn't be able to tell if a wolf was dead otherwise. Yeah, that's true. But what does it have to do with the number of wolves? Imagine if there was only one wolf. They killed him. What happens next? I got nothing. Exactly that. Nothing. Or rather, the wolves won't kill any more people. Game over. Humans win. Oh, I see. So if there was only one wolf, you could tell it was dead because the killings would stop. And the crow would be pointless. Exactly. Wow, you're sharp. Well, it's not like this information is very useful. I'm still impressed by how you keep cool in this mess. You're not just some student, are you? What else could I be? A detective? I like that. I'm a famous detective who came to solve a difficult case in the countryside. Seishi Yasumizu's world. And you normally investigate affairs and deaths. Wow, that got real quick. Anyway, I got more questions. How many people can the wolves kill per day? It'd suck if everyone got killed overnight. That won't happen. Remember the snake? They need to ask the mountain who's what. True. And the spider would be pretty useless if they just protected one human while everyone, including them, died. This is also why I wondered if Mamiya-san and Hashimoto-san got brutalized. Killing even 2 people would make it pretty bad. But if it's just 1 per day, or... Well, that raises another question. Why do these supernatural monsters even need to follow rules like that? Is that weird? Of course it is! Imagine if there were 3. 1 corpse would barely serve as a snack. I don't think they're attacking people because they're hungry. Oh, so they're just out for revenge? Not really sure, but it doesn't seem like they're doing this because they want to. I feel like they have their own laws that they have to obey. I wonder if Chami is a wolf. That would be the most painful twist. That was what bothered me so much. The Feast of the Yomi Purge had rules, and breaking them would mean being taken by the corruption. Some sort of supernatural punishment from Shinai-san. If this was really just divine retribution, surely he would want the Yamiboto done away with immediately. However, instead, the humans retained the aid of their guardians, and only 1 kill was permitted each day. Even the wolves couldn't break that rule. Were the laws of the mountain equally binding to both man and wolf? In Christian theology, both humans and Satan were God's creations, equal before him and all acting based on his master plan. Was the god of the mountain similarly inclined? A legend of slain wolves and their revenge. Was it really that simple? Or was there something else going on? It was quite scary, and I wanted to know all about it. I guess we should at least ask the elders how many people the wolves kill. True. But is someone really going to die again tonight? We already got 2 casualties, and for all I know, those the wolves replaced might be dead too. Hold on, they're cleaning up the bodies, right? We gotta check them properly, to see if there aren't more than 2 bodies or anything. Kanzo Ji-chan checked it first thing in the morning. There were only 2 people's worth of bones and guts. Huh? Really? Does he have experience doing this sort kind of thing? He's a hunter, so he's used to butchering animals. Well, that made sense. And that reminds me, this is probably the most important thing. Why aren't you trying to run away and call the police? I want a straight answer to this. I honestly can't think of a better move in this situation. I was aware the people here were superstitious. But those superstitions are getting people killed. So why was not a single person objecting? We can't escape this place. Can I ask why? It's complicated, but we all know it's true. There is no way to escape this place. The mist is completely impassable. I'm not going to waste time on something I know can't be done. Have you seen it yourself, or are you just trusting what someone else said? Sorry, I can't really explain how, but I just know. Once the feast begins, no one can leave Yasumizu. So it wasn't logic. Blind conviction. Or perhaps she'd subconsciously gained that knowledge through some experience. Yeah, as if. So you have no proof, but you still believe you can't escape. Yep, everyone else would probably say the same. What are the odds that your blind faith is something that's totally bullshit? Well, higher than 0. What if I said that I, as someone overlooked by the god of the mountain, would try to leave anyway? I do everything I could to stop you. Even if the others allow it, it's because they don't care if you die. That was pretty scary. So you're worried about me? More than anyone here. Thanks. I can just feel the love. Love? She was going all red on me now. This seems to be taking it pretty far for an act. No, I just have a conscience. The others sure don't, then? Well, you should know that they're way colder to outsiders than they appear. I'm kind of an outsider myself, so I can relate to your situation. You go on a road trip with someone just based on that? Hey, that might have been our final farewell in this life, so I wanted to make it nice. Huh? You only agreed because you felt sorry for me? Don't think you can get out of the promise that easily. Wow. How do I respond to that? Oh, wait, but your bike's broken. If it's for a date, I'll take out a loan on a new one. A date? I guess it is. But wait, you'll take out a loan while you're still in school? Besides, don't promises like that usually end up with someone dying? Let's worry about that after we survive. Shit. First she was all over me. Now she's playing hard to get. In normal circumstances, that can be kind of fun. But right now, she was the only one I could rely on. The emotional support would have been nice. Now back to the whole police thing. Really, you can't expect much from them here. Because it's supernatural? Well, that's one reason, but we also have just one officer in Kamo Fujiyoshi, and Kamo Fujiyoshi wants nothing to do with what happens here in Yasumizu. Ugh. You know, I've been thinking. Spot on. I hadn't even said anything yet. Yep, Yasumizu is basically the local settlement for those who were ostracized. Surely did guess what I was going to say. Ostracism. In ancient times, villages often punished criminals and the like by ostracizing them. They were ignored and excluded from all social welfare aid. Basically, people were excluded from the larger group and treated coldly. It was one step away from banishment. It wasn't just emotional torment either. Back in those days, not getting the help of other people was a matter of life and death, making this quite a harsh punishment. Did you all do something? Most of us did nothing. The Makushima, Yamawaki, and Muro families have been here for generations. Can you keep a secret? Sure. Kaori Oribe-san was originally an outsider who married into the Higuchi family, but her husband messed up somewhere down the line and died. I hear she was forced to move here with Yasu-kun, who was still very little. Well, that wasn't a pleasant story. I'd heard ostracism still survived in this day and age. Some rural groups would brazenly cut off your gas or water supplies if you didn't fit in. Then again, neighbors in cities have their own communication problems. Basically, humans really hadn't changed much over the years. Still, ostracism because of family troubles? In this day and age? It seems so weird and ugly and behind the times. And then there's Mochi. He was the Nosato family's heir apparent. Guy's an actual blue blood. Huh? Really? Yeah, he and Kiyonosuke-san are uncle and nephew. They were nothing alike. Mochi's a bit weird, though, so he was put up for adoption and sent to Yasumizu. Oh, yeah. Kiyonosuke she had said something like that. Sheesh, what century did they think this was? What about you? I did an oopsie. Did you used to be a bit wild? You don't like that? Nope, I'm actually into that. Wow, you really go all in, don't you? With her pulling hit and runs, I really had no choice. Anyway, this place was basically abandoned. I couldn't expect any outside help. And everyone here believed that they couldn't escape this place due to supernatural reasons. What were my options here? Oh shit. Well, we have a choice to make. And now's a really good place to end it. I don't know what choice I'm going to make. I mean, I think I'm going to make the wrong choice first, as one does in these sorts of games. Got to get those keys, right? Alright, but thank you so much for watching. So, like, things are starting to pick up. We're starting to get the truth. I think pickup's a little loose and incorrect. But we're starting to understand what's going on, and I have a feeling the game is about to get fucking nuts from here. Cool. Alright. But again, thanks so much for watching, guys. I will hopefully be seeing you in the next video. If you like this, like, subscribe, draw a picture, post on a wall, take a picture of that picture, post on Instagram, link it on a comment. I don't fucking know. Look, thanks so much, and I'll be seeing you later, because I'm definitely going to keep playing this. This has me hooked. All right.